Well, I've already started cutting some pieces out for the Birdhouse challenge that Scoutcrafter has on his channel, and I've did a couple glue ups already. This is going to be with a little bit of my Florida themed here with a lighthouse. Eventually, so I'll get these sides together. There'll be an end on the here around this side, and then on top I'll be cutting a round circle for the light part on top. We'll see how that comes out. Already got the hole drilled, and these are about 4-degree angles as it turns out to get the tapered look. So here we go. I'm going to end up having to do a little more sanding on some of these parts here to get them to fit the way I really want it to. After that goes like that. There we go. So back over to the belt sander for a few minutes, and we'll get back over here. Yeah, I need to cut this one down just a little bit more here. Had a little rough spot here anyway, so making that smooth should be just about the right. And the other thing I did was to help compensate for the slight angle. I've got it beveled just a few degrees on each side there, so that when it sets we'll have proper surfaces. Okay, we'll check out the fit on this. Well, I've glued up the basic box. This will be the base. That'll get glued up here shortly. Used pneumatic brad nailer to tack down the sides there. Going to need to fill in a little bit. There's some little gaps there, but we'll check after sanding, fill it in a little bit if necessary. Overshot on a brad here. Did one earlier down here, but it got repaired okay. So of course it's on the front side, you know, back side, the rest of it, no problem. It's always the problem is on the front. Okay, we're going to dry this out and let it dry, and we'll get back a little bit later after a couple hours dry time. Okay, a little rattle can time. That dry, do another coat in a few minutes, and get back, start putting it together. A little pilot hole for screws. Just using some, looks like they're drywall type screws, maybe deck screws with little rubberized covering on them. We wanted to have screws that can be cleaned out. Okay, had an idea from another channel, Joe's Shop. He mentioned about he's going to try to use a little copper on his, and I happen to have this sheet of copper been sitting around a little bit, so I'm going to use this for the covering for here and for an overhang on the over the doorway. So I scribed out about 3 1/4 inches, and I'm going to scribe this and make a little cut on it. Okay, so I'll go over and I'm going to try it on my bandsaw, see how that does, but might be better off with a shear or something. We'll experiment a little bit and see. Well, to cut this, I tried doing it on the bandsaw with pretty rough edges, so I happen to have a sheet metal shop across the alley from me, and they were kind enough to cut a little square here. That I've already glued this piece on, and this will be the cover for the over the doorway, and I've drilled 3 small holes here. Okay, I did find some small finishing nails, like for paneling, that are close in color, so I think that will be a better option than the little copper dealies I made. Okay, we're pretty well there now. Got my light for the top, taken from a little garden, just a little garden light. Well, this is pretty much the finished product. I have gotten the overhangs glued on, tacked them in here, and that's pretty much it.